The key was warm in her hand. It was not a normal key. Eliza found it in her grandfather's old workshop. The workshop was dusty and quiet. He died 2 months ago. Eliza was cleaning his things. The key was made of dark wood. It had tiny silver stars on it. The stars moved slowly around the key. Eliza watched them. She felt a strange pull. It was like a quiet song. She looked at the key for a long time. Her grandfather was a clockmaker. He made beautiful clocks. But he never spoke about this key. Eliza decided to try it. She walked around the small workshop. She looked at every clock and drawer. Nothing had a keyhole for it. Weeks passed. Eliza kept the key in her pocket. She felt its gentle warmth every day. She worked in her flower shop. But her thoughts were always with the key. One evening, she had an idea. She went back to the workshop. She looked at her grandfather's biggest clock. It was taller than a man. The clock was broken for many years. Her grandfather never fixed it. Eliza looked carefully at the clock's base. She saw a small design. It was a circle of stars. The design matched the key. Her heart beat fast. She found a tiny hole in the wood. It was hidden under the design. She took the warm key from her pocket. Her hands shook a little. She put the key into the hole. It fit perfectly. She turned the key. It made a soft click. Then, the clock began to hum. The sound was low and musical. The hands on the clock's face started to move. But they moved backwards. The air in the workshop changed. It smelled like old paper and rain. A small door opened in the clock. It was not there before. Inside, Eliza saw a winding staircase. It went down into darkness. Eliza was afraid. But she was also very curious. She took a small lamp from the workbench. She stepped into the clock. The stairs were cold under her feet. She walked down for a long time. The air became cooler. Finally, she reached the bottom. She was in a large, round room. The room was full of clocks. But these were not normal clocks. Some clocks had glass flowers instead of numbers. Others had tiny birds that sang the hours. Light came from glowing crystals on the walls. In the center of the room was a table. On the table was a single, large book. The book was open. Eliza walked closer. She saw her grandfather's handwriting. The words were in a language she did not know. But pictures were in the margins. The pictures showed places. Eliza saw a mountain made of crystal. She saw a forest with silver leaves. She saw a quiet sea under 2 moons. These were places from her grandfather's stories. He told them when she was a child. She thought they were just fairy tales. Now she understood. They were real. Her grandfather visited these places. This key was his way to travel. Eliza spent hours in the room. She looked at all the wonderful clocks. Each clock seemed to show a different time in a different world. She felt a deep loneliness too. Her grandfather kept this secret all his life. He never shared the journey with anyone. She closed the book gently. She knew she could not stay. She climbed the long stairs back to the workshop. The next morning, Eliza opened her flower shop. But her mind was far away. She thought about the secret room. She thought about the other worlds. A customer broke her thoughts. The customer was an old woman. She had kind eyes and white hair. She bought a bunch of lavender. As Eliza gave her the change, the woman spoke. "That is a beautiful key you have," the woman said softly. Eliza looked down. The wooden key was on her counter. She forgot to put it away. "It looks very old," the woman continued. "It looks like a memory key." Eliza felt a shock. "A memory key?" she asked. The old woman nodded. "Some keys open doors. Some keys open time. They show you important moments. But only once." The woman left the shop. Eliza held the key tightly. She understood now. The key did not open a door to other worlds. It opened a door to her grandfather's memories. The clocks showed his most precious times. Eliza felt a mix of sadness and joy. She had a way to know him better. Months passed. Eliza visited the secret room many times. She learned how to use the clocks. She chose a small clock with a copper sun. She turned the key near it. The room filled with golden light. Suddenly, she was not in the room anymore. She was standing in a field. It was many years ago. She saw her grandfather as a young man. He was laughing with a woman. The woman had Eliza's smile. It was her grandmother, young and alive. Eliza watched them have a picnic. She heard their conversation. She saw their love. The memory faded after a few minutes. Eliza was back in the clock room. Tears were on her face. They were happy tears. She visited many memories over the next year. She saw her grandfather learn his craft. She saw him hold her mother as a baby. She saw his quiet pride when Eliza was born. One winter evening, Eliza made a decision. She took the key to the workshop. She opened the secret door in the big clock. She went down to the round room for the last time. She looked at the book on the table. She took a pen from her pocket. She wrote on a blank page at the back. She wrote about her own life. She wrote about her flower shop. She wrote about the day she found the key. She drew a small picture of her shop window. Then, she closed the book. She placed the warm wooden key on top of it. She turned and walked up the stairs. She did not look back. She closed the small door in the clock. She heard the lock click shut forever. Eliza walked home through the snowy streets. She felt peaceful. The key showed her what she needed. It showed her love and family. It showed her that time is precious. Now, the key could rest with her grandfather's memories. And her own memory was safe with it. Years later, Eliza told the story to her daughter. They sat by the fire. "Is the key still there, Mama?" her daughter asked. Eliza smiled. "I think so," she said. "But some doors are meant to stay closed. Some treasures are meant to be found only once." She hugged her daughter. The warmth she felt was not from a key. It was from the story itself. And that was the greatest magic of all. Now, let's review some vocabulary. Number 1. Workshop. A room or building where things are made or repaired. Her grandfather's workshop was full of tools. Number 2. Curious. Wanting to know or learn something. Eliza was curious about the strange key. Number 3. Winding. Having a twisting, turning shape. She went down the winding staircase. Number 4. Margins. The empty spaces at the sides of a page. There were pictures in the margins of the book. Number 5. Language. A system of communication using words. The words were in a different language. Number 6. Customer. A person who buys something from a shop. An old woman was a customer in the flower shop. Number 7. Precious. Very valuable or important. The clocks showed his most precious times. Number 8. Craft. A skill for making things by hand. She saw her grandfather learn his craft. Number 9. Faded. Slowly disappeared or became less clear. The memory faded after a few minutes. Number 10. Peaceful. Quiet and calm, without worry. She felt peaceful after her decision.